The program has you focusing on the sum to detour you from the path to be the one. It has you focusing on the wheel of the zodiac, but not the centerpiece. If you follow the 12 spokes to the center of the wheel, you'll find the one. Once you tap in and begin to see with your internal eye, you'll have the ability to see things for what they truly are and for what they truly are not. True sight is inner sight, not outer sight or external sight. That's why I said that in the land of the blind, the one-eyed man is king. The one eye is the inner eye. The inner eye is the first eye, or the one eye of the man. The land of the blind represents the physical world, being viewed from the outer eyes. Outer eyesight can be deceiving and misleading in the world of illusions. Your inner eyesight is the inner light that will guide you through the outer darkness. The blind can't see the light because they lack the sight. Sight is vision, and light is knowledge. Therefore, blindness is no vision, no light, and lack of knowledge. Or, to make it plain, sight represents knowledge, blindness represents ignorance. The blind can't see the illusion for what it really is. They see a false reality that they believe to be real. The land of the blind is the land of make-believe, full of people with no true vision. They don't have their own sight, so they depend on something outside of themselves or the world around them to tell a vision and give them sight. They lack original thought and action. This is how people lose their mind and lose their identity. In the midst of all of the false visions being told to them, they don't know who they are. They can't identify their true self. See, part of the parasitic agenda is to divide your mind in order to conquer your thoughts. When your mind is divided, it's easier to conquer your thoughts. When your mind is lost, so is original thought. So the agenda is either to have you lose your mind or to divide your mind. A divided mind is a broken mind. There's no unified thought, just programmed fragments of thought. So when I'm speaking about illusions, I'm talking about your individually designed programming that came from your parents or systematic social dogma, whether you know it or not. You've been socially engineered to be the way that you are. You don't have beliefs, you have programs. It's not a matter of belief or disbelief. It's a matter of programming and deprogramming. Just because you're being ran or controlled by a specific program doesn't mean that everyone you encounter is subject to that same programming. Most people don't know how to differentiate between belief and programming. People think that they have a set of beliefs, but they really have a set of programs. Then they think when you disagree with their beliefs, you're going against what they believe. But you're not going against their personal beliefs. You're going against their personal programming. Their ego is attached to that programming. And so it's their ego that's actually offended by your actions. The ego is offended because you're tearing down the walls of illusion that has been constructed as a defense mechanism. The ego has built this wall to defend itself against truth, light, and right knowledge. The ego can be broken down into two parts: the physical and spiritual ego, or sometimes you hear it referred to as lower and higher self. Lower self gravitates towards the root chakra and higher self gravitates towards the crown chakra. Traveling towards the root is descension. Traveling towards the crown is ascension. The physical ego is a reflection of lower self, and the spiritual ego is a reflection of higher self. Now you have to ask yourself, which ego are you charging? And in which direction is it being driven? Is it being directed towards ascension or descension? Is it being directed towards ascension or dissension? Now take a look at the people around you and ask yourself the same question about them. Which aspects of themselves are they charging? What direction are they going in? And in what direction are they attempting to push or pull you in? Are they assisting in your spiritual growth or are they hindering it? Are you slaying the vampire or laying with the vampire? Because you're supposed to be slaying vampires, not laying with vampires. When's the last time you performed a spiritual purge on yourself? Purging yourself of bloodsuckers, leeches, and any other parasitic or vampiric energies. If you haven't, you should do so immediately. Physical detoxes are great, but spiritual detox is needed as well. You want to purge and purify your temple of toxic and unclean energy. That's how you keep on your path and keep your vision clear. That's how you reinforce your control of your energy and motion, better known as your emotions. You establish order to regulate chaos. It's mind over matter, discipline or destruction. Know thyself, know thy soul, and align thyself accordingly. And be careful of what you entertain, because entertainment is possession. It's a form of spiritual lockdown. Entertainment is allowing something to enter and contain your spirit. They want you to be entertained. They want you to be amused. They don't want you to be educated. They don't want you to think. They don't want you to be free-spirited. They don't want you to think for yourself. Education means to bring out what's within. Entertainment traps what is within. Now ask yourself, what are you entertaining? What are you allowing to possess you? And through which medium is it being done? Like the film Poltergeist, Carol Ann was trapped in a television. Television is one of the greatest sources of entertainment. This is spiritual warfare. Knowing the science of the spirit and the soul is absolutely necessary if victory is to be achieved. I repeat, knowing the science of the spirit and soul is absolutely necessary if victory is to be achieved. Soulology. Soulology is the study of the soul. It's soul science. Know thy soul. Science means to know. So therefore, soul science is knowing thy soul, knowing the soul. The pineal is the eye of the soul, the first eye. That is the eye of the soul. So when you're looking at the world through your first eye, you have a soul's eye view on the world. You're looking at the world from a soul's eye view. This is why in the movie They Lived, when he put on the sunglasses, he was able to see the world for what it was, for what it really was. He was able to see through all the illusions. He was able to see all of the complex sigils being hidden in plain sight. He was able to see through different beings posing as humans. He was able to see entities for what they really were. But notice, it didn't happen when he looked at everybody. It was only certain individuals, certain people, that when he would look at them, he could see them for what they really were or for what they really weren't. the soulless ones. So what these sunglasses represent is that soul's eye view. They're called sunglasses. What is the sun? The sun is the soul. Soul means sun. A glass is a lens. It's made for looking. So you're looking through your sun lens, or he was looking through the lens of the sun, or the sun lens. He had a soul's eye view on the world around him. Everything is what it is for a reason. It's not a coincidence sunglasses are called sunglasses. You just have to understand the science, understand the science behind these different things. That's spell breaking. When you learn the etymology, the origin of these different words, that's how you break the spell. They hide everything in plain sight. You just have to have the ability to see. But if you're looking at the world with your outer eye, with your outer two eyes, you'll always be deceived, because things aren't what they appear to be. In order to see through the illusion, you have to see from your inner eye. The inner eye is the soul's eye, the pineal, the first eye. Keep all eyes open when you look at the world around you. Yes, your physical eyes, they do serve a purpose, but when you use your soul's eye, it comes with discernment. So then you have the ability to discern what your physical or your outer eyes is seeing. So therefore, you're not falling for illusions. You're not falling for tricks, because you see everything for what it really is. You just have to sharpen that eye. It takes practice, focus, but anything is attainable if you put your mind to it. We focus on a lot of other useless things. I think we can take the time and effort and focus into something that will be a lot more beneficial. Something geared more towards our ascension. We focus on that, and we can accomplish that if that's the goal. To what do you give your attention? Learn to give your attention to ascension instead of giving your attention to distractions. Because there's plenty of obstacles set in place that are designed to prevent our ascension, to keep us locked down. So the ability to see things for what they really are allows you to pick those locks. You have to use sound and sight to pick a lock. Use your mind and you use your hands. Use the mental, use the physical. You merge the two together. And then once the lock is picked, once the lock is open, once the lock is picked, it's up to you to open the door, to open the safe, to open the vault. That's where all things precious are hidden. They're hidden inside of a safe or a vault, or locked away behind a door. So once you remove that lock and you open that door, the treasure is yours.